Hey, I'm ElusiveKev, Mr. Cole, welcome back to Gran Turismo Sport and some private lobby action. I haven't shown you this as I've mostly been racing in the sports section with the daily races. I always try the Manufacturers Cup as well. The other day I'll show you that race later this week, but in those daily races you don't have a few tracks which are kind of in the rotation. They have like Bathurst now. I'll show you that race later as well, under the lights at night with GT4 cars. It was crazy, but most prominently, you don't have the Nordschleife in that rotation because it's not really the best track to actually race around, even though it's in lots of racing games like iRacing, like Assetto Corsa, Project Cars 2, back in the day, Project Golf and Racing 4, but you also have like Mods for R Factor 2 and Automobilista, and you've got Race Room. It's like it's a staple of racing games. And then also, I thought I'd try it out in Gran Turismo. Of course, it's an older Gran Turismo games as well, mainly for like cruising and drifting around. It's pretty good, but I thought I'd see how it is in a race. We've got a balance performance race for the GT3 cars, as you can see. We've chosen our lobby. You can see those are different settings as well for the private lobbies to set, but we've got quite a few drivers here, 11 in total, and of course we've got the Porsche 911, the Mercedes at the front, then the BMW, then the Mazda, the Subaru, we've got Dodge Viper, Chevrolet Corvette as well. Well, we start in 8th with our BMW. You can see nice front shot there, nice little setup before we rev up the engine with a standing start as well. Not used to that in this game, as it's normally rolling starts, of course, with daily races. And we're underway for one lap round here. Whether everyone survived, that is the big question, as we head towards the first corner, braking heavy on the inside, but we run slightly well. We've got nudged wide as well there by us, and that's the Beetle. Someone is off to the right hand side, so we maintain 8 just ahead of the Dodge Viper, but it looks like the Beetle's being shuffled out. The Chevrolet Corvette is braking heavily. We're into the back of him. He's almost into the back of the Chevrolet Corvette as we go through this tricky first section. It's perhaps the part of the track I know the most, as it looks like it's another Dodge Viper that's gone off as we almost go into the back of the Beetle, and this like Dodge Viper stuck by us around the outside. He started last. He's already up to 7. We've got a slow down already. And this is perhaps why he's not in the rotation as well. You can see you have to be so tight, you have to be very ultra-tunistic to make a move round here. And of course that can lead to lots of accidents, so perhaps best it's not in the rotation. As there goes the Viper, there goes lots of cars. You've got like the Subaru, the BMW, so the best BMW up to 5th now. As the Mercedes leads ahead of the Porsche, and the Chevrolet, the Chevrolets go around the outside though, grab 2nd. The Beetle in 4th, and here we are in 5th. We've got some of that penalty down. Now we go very slowly through this corner. There goes the Chevrolet, who's very aggressive in this opening part of the lap. The part of the lap I know the most, because after this I normally crash around halfway through the track, so I'm used to this section of the track, not so used to the second half of the circuit. But we're up to 4th. We had a good start from 8th, thanks to lots of people crashing out, as you would expect around here. Look at the sparks in front. That's fantastic to see. Look at this, we've got 4 little ducks in a row. Then in 5th, we've got around a 2-second gap behind to the Dodge Viper. And it's like past the Mazda. No, the Mazda holds. We're nicking on our right-hand wing mirror as well. The sea ooze behind us. But it looks like it is the Mazda, even though they've been battling hard. So now they're over 3 seconds behind. But now we're just sitting here. We've got lots of this track to go. We're only 2 minutes in, and there he goes off the Porsche. We're up to 3rd, then behind the Mercedes. And he's off now. So we're up to 2nd behind. No, we're not. We're going wide behind the Beetle. We stayed just in front of Mercedes. No, he's giving us a tap. We're into the wall. So we're back down to 4th behind the Porsche, as well as their renewing acquaintances in this race. So we're still in a good position in 4th. We're still ahead of the Mazda as well. He's in 5th. We've got the Subaru in 6th. Then we've got the 2 Dodge Vipers in 7th and 8th. But now that Beetle's running away with it, I'm thinking I want to get past these a lot to catch up to that Beetle, because he seemed to be quite even on pace. I know he's being held up as well, but I don't know. If I get free air, I could get into a rhythm. Maybe I can catch up to the Beetle. So that's what we're trying to do. And there it goes, the Porsche wide in front, but there's not much right off there, so he can reach on right in front of us. And now we've got the Mazda on our arse as well. You never want to say those words. As now we go through the faster section now, heading towards, of course, that little back straight, that bendy back straight, as well as now we go into the right hand. Looks like Mercedes just holding everyone up, playing a bit of safety car here. It looks like in front of the Porsche. He's a bit lagging slightly as well for us, but we've got the Mazda behind, and it looks like the Subaru's getting impatient behind the Mazda, looking left and right. We're overtaking spot, but now we go through the bendy section now, flat out in 6th gear. Very scary as well with how tight this track is. So old school as the Nordschleife. I don't know how they do the 24-hour races, how they do the VLN races around here. And of course the World Touring Cars as well as race around here in recent years. Not been the most exciting races, unfortunately, as you would expect perhaps, with the World Touring Car in the state that it is in. But it's going to be changes for 2018 and excited with the World Touring Car, so I'm excited to see what happens there. As, goes wide, and you allow the Mazda through. Looks like the Subaru's down our inside, but now, there goes the Porsche. We outbrake ourselves as the Subaru. There was no space for us as he just outbraked himself as well, so we rejoin behind him just about, do we? We go down the inside into the first left-hander. We just about make it through in the carousel. Then we go slightly wide, going over the curb. We do hold on just in front of the Subaru, as it is really a logjam in front. Looks like Mercedes has lost out. No longer playing safety car. He's now back to 6th. As in front goes, I think that's the Corvette. Is that? No, it's the Dodge Vipers. We've been pushed wide by the Subaru. So we're off again down to 8th. It was looking so good for like a couple of minutes, but then the next couple of minutes have just been crazy. Everyone going off everywhere. And so as we head into the second half of the lap, we are down in 8th. We've got second half gap in front, 7.5 gap behind to the Dodge Viper. Chevrolet Corvette in 10th as well. We've got loads of Germans in this race. I just realised that. Looking at the left hand side and the right hand side of the kind of timing. And in next side, we've got the Subaru off in front, so we're back up to 7th. But look how close it is in front. As there goes the Dodge Viper up to 6th. We're making our way back through the field. And there goes someone else. There goes the BMW. 3 cars and 3 corners. And look at second, maybe playing safety car now. The Mazda. Oh no, 4 cars and 4 corners. There goes the Mercedes. Rejoins in the middle of the track. We try to avoid, but we're going onto the grass. And if you go onto the grass in Gran Turismo, so that is a death sentence. And so we're spun round in 9th. We've got the Subaru behind. We've got the BMW behind. And then as we're about to brake for this corner, we get tapped in the rear by the Subaru. And we're into the barrier. So we're down to 10th. Got a huge gap behind to the BMW, probably just staying safe. You know, this is the BMW tactic. If we stay at the back, everyone will crash off and we're going to win. I think that's our tactics, right? As the Beetle, of course, leading ahead of the madness, probably had a quiet race, wondering what happened to everyone else behind. He's probably digging his rim. Well, where is everyone? So we've got the Porsche up into second with the Greek, and then we've got that Mercedes in third. How's he in third? He was crashing out. And then we've got, well, everyone else was crashing out as well. You've got Subaru and Dodge Viper battling hard in front, around 5 seconds in front. You've got that BMW behind, got similar pace at the moment. So you're on to the back straight now. There's massive straight. We take a bit too much inside curb in that right-hander. Then just gentle the throttle, then nailed it for this back straight. As you get up into 6th, approaching, well, it won't be approaching 200 miles per hour. It's around, what, 170, 180 in these GT3 cars. Maybe if I worked the gear in, it would be approaching 200 miles per hour, but I didn't bother to change any of the settings before this race. As looking in front, and it's like the Viper's holding off the Subaru. We also got the Mercedes past the 911 though, headed into the final couple of corners. I believe the Beetle's about to win the race. Good job from the Beetle. Just kept it clean, kept it tight. Everyone fed off, and they didn't. And that's how you win round the Nordschleife. As in this, like the Dodge Viper gets third ahead of the Porsche. Knocked out the podiums. Look like Subaru's pitting. Why not? You know, there might be a shorter route actually to the line, is it? No, it looks like we jumped the Subaru. So we finish in 8th in the air, ahead of the Dodge Viper. But what a crazy race. And I'm perhaps showing why the Nordschleife is just good for private lobbies, not public. As here's the Beetle at wins ahead of Mercedes, Dodge Viper, Mazda in 4th, M6 in 5th. Oh, that Porsche got boned in the last couple of corners, down to 6th in the end. We've got the Chevrolet Corvette in 7th. And we've got the Dodge Viper down to 9th because of the time penalty. And then Subaru in 10th and our fellow BMW in last. But I hope you enjoyed the madness, the Nordschleife. I'm not sure I'll bring you any more Nordschleife gameplay anytime soon, but I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.